We've ventured to one of New Zealand's spearfishing hotspots this week, the beautiful Coromandel Peninsula, where the plan is to use the local knowledge of a couple of the South Sea Spearo team members to track down a few prize fish. As per usual, the fellas are up at crack of dawn to get a head start on what looks to be an absolute cracker of a day.
Got it?
Yep. Early start for the boys this morning. We're just waiting for our ride. I'm pretty excited. We're up on the home turf for these boys.
Yeah, mate, we just had Christmas and New Year's, so all the loopies are buggered off. Hopefully they left a fish for us to go and chase it around, and yeah, should be a good day. Nice weather.
Yeah, I got up here a week ago and there's heaps of fish around, so fingers crossed they're still here, eh?
Yeah, we're not trying to break any records this trip. We're just coming up for a good time. Yeah, try and spear a good load of fish for us to take home and just have some fun. We've got our mate Gene coming out with us today. We've got a boat getting built, but it's not ready yet, so Gene's hooked us up. Oh, Kieran's on the boat. He helped them launch this morning. How are we?
Ready to rock and roll?
Shit, yeah. Don't forget Jules' one.
It's a stunning morning, all right, and the fellas are quite rightly fizzing to get out wide. The plan first up is to target yellowtail kingfish. However, the location they've chosen is renowned for being extremely sharky, so they'll need to be on their toes.
That's healthy, boys.
We're just making a bit of a game plan now, so there's one spot where we'll only be able to get this morning, so we're going to have a shot at that. The tide's going to be best for it about 9 o'clock. So yeah, we're just following Jules in that lead, really. It's quite nice just sitting back. This is my home turf, so they're in charge.
Tide change at 9 o'clock. I just find it's way easier to find the fish when the current's coming from the south.
Oh, that's been mean, bro. If it's blue water, I feel way better about having like Burley and the Marcos, eh?
Oh, yeah. Marco there.
There you go. Is that a Marco? Speaking of the devils, eh? We just spooked the Marco footing on the surface.
Yeah, it's where we're going straight up is a fairly sharky spot, so there's a fairly good chance we're going to get some kind of encounters. Yeah, a bit of the name of the game, we'll be getting the fish into the boat quite quick once we spear something.
Oh, there's big schools of fish.
That's a shoal of bait on the surface up there, eh? It's looking real fishy.
Yeah, boy.
That is a massive school of fish on the surface, so yeah, it's looking pretty fishy. Looking good. Look at it.
The dogs are busting up, boys.
So what's going to be in there, Jules? Is it going to be trevally, kahawai?
Yeah, trevally, kahawai. Hopefully some of those blue mackerel, like the slimy mackerel. They're pretty cool to shoot. Wow. Yeah, they're all feeding on krill at the moment. They bring the krill up to the surface and then just mow them down. Like you can hear them just scooping their mouths along the surface as they swim.
You know it's a good day when you can hear the fish.
What a day!
The lads waste little time in suiting up and getting into their work, with Jules deciding to put his tiny roller gun to use and up the ante a bit. Dwayne, on the other hand, isn't messing around, selecting a more standard issue spear gun. There are no obvious sharks in the vicinity, but there are a few of their close cousins, the stingray, peacefully patrolling the clear blue waters. Within a few minutes though, the first sharks arrive on the scene, but they're bronze whalers, a fairly common sight for New Zealand spear fishermen. Although these sharks can cause trouble when fish are being shot and blood is in the water, they're far less aggressive and don't pose quite the same danger as the more predatory Marco shark.
So the guys are getting pretty excited over there. They've just made the call that there's a bronzy cruising around there. Hopefully they're staying safe and it's pretty relaxed, but we'll find out soon enough.
With the sharks shadowing the guys in the distance, Dwayne spies a small snapper off in the deep water, and he manages to plug the small fish with relative ease. Whilst it's certainly nothing to get too excited about, it's always nice to break the ice and get one on board.
Yeah, Dwayne just shot a snapper right out the mid-water and off the ledge.
Dwayne's just shot us a nice wee snapper. It'll be a bit of snacking to start with anyway, so I better jump in or I'll miss out on the action. I'm a little bit slow this morning. I got the snip last Friday, so my nuts are a little bit sore.
Big school of blue mackerel down here.
Woo! Blue mac!
They're not big fish, but Just got a snapper in the weed. Early in the morning they seem to be just sort of parked up, so sort of just swimming along, and he copped it.
A little skinny, but he'll go all right.
And then nice blue mackerel here. There's a big school of them swimming around. We just got schooled by about 4 big bronzies. So it's going off. There's heaps of fish, heaps of action.
That's a beautiful blue mac. We'll get this one on ice real quick, eh? It'll be good for sashimi later on. Look at the beautiful colours.
A little snapper. Beautiful.
Whilst the initial plan was to target kingfish, the lads aren't going to turn their noses up at any good eating tablefish species, which spells bad news for this pink mau mau, which Jules plugs with a well-placed shot. Meanwhile, over with Tim, and he's settling into his work, getting on the board with a second small snapper for the morning.
Story, boys. Just shot another nice little snapper. Just another wee panny, but we'll take him. It's got a little feed in the box already, so all good. The boys have seen some kingies. I had 3 come through before, but I hadn't breathed up. But yeah, looking pretty good. It's pretty fishy. What'd you get, brother? Oh, some slimy mackerel or blue mackerel. There's a whole big schools of them here. There's some good kingies smashing them as well, so I just started pulling the trigger and they spooked from some kingies coming in, so.
The schools of blue mackerel are a great indicator that larger predatory fish may be close by.
Going off. 2-1. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Bloody oceans of the stuff!
Bit of a tangle up, but it was worth it.
It's the mackerel.
Just a mac.
Fizzing over these mackerel, eh?
That's all I want to spear, is mackies.
Oh, shark here, boys. Yo, coming in on you.
Hey, coming in hot! Where is it?
It might be a hammer. It's got a real rounded dorsal. It might be a hammer. Here it comes. It's coming at us.
Expecting to see a shark come ghosting towards them, the team are pleasantly surprised to see a nice-sized kingfish making its way in close. So Dwayne sets about cubing one of the 2 mackerel he just shot in order to entice it to stick around long enough to allow him to get a spear into it.
Oi, I might plug that kingy, eh? So I'll get rid of this and then I'll go. Another one for the pot. You don't often see these much during the year, but this time of year there's schools of them hanging around here. And they're quite good fun to spear. So
They're real good sashimi if you get them cold fast, eh?
yeah, you got to get them right on ice.
Yep.
Whilst Dwayne's dropping off the blue mackerel over at the boat, Tim decides to make the most of an easy opportunity to capitalise on Dwayne's hard work, dropping down to plug one of the 2 kingfish, still busy picking off the last of the mackerel cubes.
Where are you, bastard? Is that the one I was going to shoot?
Yeah.
There's so many fish down here, it's epic.
Bronzy's just turned up.
As expected, the commotion of the fighting fish brings in one of the bronze whalers from earlier. So Tim's task now is to get the fish in as quickly as possible without paying a sizable premium to the taxman.
Fight hard, but I'm trying to keep him in away from the shark.
It's a bit of a balancing act for Tim. He doesn't want to fight the fish too hard, as it's more likely to pull the spear free.
They're fighting quite hard, but I'm just pulling them in as quick as I can. There's a lot of sharks around. We've seen some bronzies and a barco just outside us, so
Hope to kill him quick and get him up in the boat.
It's a matter of keeping the pressure even throughout the fight and not allowing the kingy to get its head down and power off into the depths.
Yeah, here comes the fish.
Tim grabs the fish by the tail, effectively demobilising it, then takes a firm grasp of it and holds it tight to his chest. With a hand holding the fish firmly at the base of the gills, he's able to administer a killing blow to the kingy's brain with his dive knife.
Yeah, boy.
Jerry, nice kingy, that's what we're after. Pretty stoked with that. It's a good start for the day, managed to get it away from the sharks. They didn't actually buzz it too much, which is good. Sweet.
Bloody beauty, mate.
It's quite a good fish, eh, bro?
That's not a bad fish at all.
Pretty good start to the trip. Yeah, pretty stoked with that. So we've got a couple of panty snapper and a nice kingfish now. So yeah, real good start to the day.
I've got your gun here, bro.
We'll keep hanging out here for another couple of hours yet. Hopefully get a bit more action and then maybe we'll go in and try for some boarfish and John Dory.
Good man. Good man.
Sun's just coming through. Yeah, I was getting pretty cold there. We've been in the shadow all morning. It's not ideal to get cold first thing in the morning because your sinuses can clog up later in the day. Try and always stay warm while you're out on the water. But I kind of forgot my jersey this morning. But the sun's coming out. It's supposed to be 33 today, so we'll stay hydrated and we'll see how I go later on.
If it's my last day on earth, I wanna spend it with you.
The team are enjoying themselves swimming amongst the teeming schools of bait fish and a couple of inquisitive stingrays, but there's not a great deal of target species, unfortunately. So Dwayne sets about setting up a burley to act as an attractor.
I was playing it nicely. It looked like I didn't know what I was doing, but I was worried I was going to lose it.
Oh, yeah. I'll try some sort of kahawai. Put a bit more burley.
Yeah.
Can you snap it down here?
Yeah, so there's a big school of snapper here. You know, up to 2 kilos, just midwater schoolfish.
Oh, man.
And I'm going to do a burley up just on the ledge here. So to burley this kahawai up, make a few kinners, just leave it for 10 minutes.
That should bring him in. Man, my breath hold is crap this morning, eh?
There's a fair few snapper just hanging out down here, so we've just chucked a bit of a burley down there. We're just going to sneak down there and shoot one, I suppose. There's a few sharks in amongst there as well, which sort of makes them a bit more aggressive towards the burley, so they don't really pay attention to what you're up to, which is quite good for us. As long as you don't mind sharks swimming around you, you're sweet as.
Dwayne's burley hasn't exactly had the desired effect, luring in a few sharks, but not the big snapper he was hoping for.
Yeah, it's just pretty quiet now, eh?
Oh, well, it's getting close to tide change now, so it's going pretty slack and relaxed. You see the fish all start scattering around and moving away from the rock, so it's a little bit hard to target them, but it'll start running again soon from the other way. So, and that's supposed to be the better way, so hopefully it gets even better in half an hour's time.
That tide's just died, eh?
It's gone slick as, eh? Look at us, we're not even moving.
Nah, there's nothing on the burley.
With little action to be had, Jules decides to try and make some of his own fun.
Just going to sneak over to this glass bottom boat here and hopefully they don't see me coming. I'm going to give them all a fright while they're looking for fish underneath the boat.
Just as the team are considering making a move to a new location, a few kings materialise amongst the swirling bait school that's popped up nearby, providing Julian with the perfect opportunity to test the legs on his wee roller gun.
Oh, I got a kingy with that little gun. Yeah, boy.
He got it. Did he get one?
So Julian's got this tiny little roller gun, and we were just talking before, he's never shot a kingy with it, he'd love to, and he just smacked one, so let's see how big it is.
He's got no float, that thing's going to be dragging around.
He's got no float line, he's just hanging onto the gun.
Kingy's longer than the gun. I just left Dwayne in a big pool of blood too.
That'll be tasty.
Oh, I should have put a beer on it or something. Yeah. Yeah, good eating size there.
Mate. Woohoo! Pretty happy with what we've got so far. A couple of kingies and some panties and stuff, so good bit of action. The tide's turned now, and also all that action, we've got a bit of blood in the water, the sharks are around, so we're thinking we might as well pack up from here and head into some fresh country. Yeah.
Yeah, man, go chase some boarfish on the weed edges. Yeah, so there's always a few sharks around. You don't often see them, but they're always there. But we usually just treat them like dogs, you know. If they look aggressive and they're hungry, then you try and keep your distance or keep an eye on them. It's got to a point now where some of the areas around here, like it's almost not worth going spearing because the sharks have learned that if they hang around the divers, they're going to get a feed of kingfish or whatever they spear. We spear a fish, shark rolls up trying to eat it. We try our best to land the fish and sort of fight the shark off, because once he gets a feed, he knows he's going to get it every time, and he starts following you around. So a bit like giving a big chunk of steak to a stray dog outside your house, is going to start hanging around. So it's always a sort of a constant battle to keep your good spearfishing grounds clear of the sharks.
We're going to just jump in here. Up here there's a weed edge, we're going to chase some bories. The weed edge is the edge of the sand hitting rock or structure with weed on it. That's where the fish seem to go and migrate to.
Well, we're targeting boarfish. Hopefully we'll see some teriki and John Dory as well, but they generally hang out there because they feed out on the sand, and then they try and stay quite close to the weed edge, so that if something comes like a shark or spearfishman, they can race into the weed and hide. And they generally don't go too far away from it, so hopefully we can sneak around on the edge and bump into something.
Quite a cool looking fish, good eating. And yeah, they've got a big snout on them. The colour difference as well, eh? Which one's which?
Male's got the spots.
Male's got the spots.
Black dots and like yellow back. The female's got like these brown and white stripes on them.
Can only be caught by Spearos. They just feed on little snails and mollusks and crustaceans and stuff in the sand, so fishermen don't really catch them. And yeah, they're normally found out a bit deeper. So it's definitely on most Spearos' hit list, for sure. Beautiful eating, and yeah, hopefully we can put a couple on the deck.
If you see a bory, just come and let me know.
Yeah, fair enough.
When snooping weed lines on the hunt for boarfish, snapper and John Dory, it pays to keep an eye out for any feelers protruding from the cracks and crevices in the rock, as crayfish often inhabit the same kind of kelpie terrain and always make a welcome addition to the menu.
Sweet. No bories, but good craze.
It's dinner. Is the other one too small?
Yeah, the other one looked a bit small.
Not as big as the ones we get down south, but it's a good one for here. Good feed tonight. Hey Jules?
Yeah man, we'll eat him for sure.
Good male crayfish. Got a crayfish measure here. You can see here that he's well oversized, and we'll get the live bait tank turned on, and that'll keep him alive until we get back to shore, and then we can eat him and he'll be much fresher.
Whilst they're yet to bag a boarfish, there's certainly no shortage of variety aboard the boat, and Tim's soon adding another species to the day's tally.
Oh, Johnny!
Johnny and Spat.
John Dory! How nice, John Dory. A beautiful table fish, these ones. Just a little bit of tide working on that wet edge now. And there's been sitting there in amongst the weeds, so hopefully another one turns up.
The team are on the hunt for a giant boarfish in the clear waters of the Coromandel Peninsula, but the elusive fish are proving hard work to track down.
Lots of fish here, but nothing that we're targeting. It's nice, nice school of blue marrow trevally in amongst it and things, but there's no kingfish or boarfish or snapper or John Dory there.
There's a bunch of snappers out on the flat there. There's one quite decent one, they're worth curling up for sure.
Julian and Dwayne are using quite a cunning approach to Burley, placing a shot fish under a rock in order to hold the fish in the area for longer, as target species such as snapper are less likely to leave with the scent of a free meal still lingering. Peering over the ledge, Julian spies a rather nice snapper amongst the school and moves in slowly for the kill. But unfortunately, the spear pulls out almost immediately.
What happened there? Is the flopper not open?
I don't know, it just looked like it ripped up.
With the area now disturbed, Julian cuts his losses and instead banks a couple of tasty blue kohiru on his way to the boat.
Yo! Get those suckers on ice. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Bit of sashimi here. They'll go down good for lunch. Got two of them. Double header, mate. No big snapper on that Burley. There was one about 2 kilos, but I bloody shot him a bit low and he ripped off.
Another Johnny. We have a couple in the bag.
You got to take its nappies off before you pass it up?
Yeah.
Real good eating these things. Yeah, missed the target. Oh, look at that. Swallows whole fish. Pretty awesome fish, eh? New spot, same plan, chasing boarfish. There's a bit of a weed edge over here and a whole lot of structure that generally holds good bories, so we'll all get in and spread out and have a look around. Hopefully get lucky.
Julian's hotspot, he's guaranteed us a boarfish every dive. Sweet. Dogs are busting up. Yeah.
Whilst the process of diving these relatively warm and clear waters is enjoyable in itself, the pressure's starting to build for somebody to eventually deliver the goods and put a boarfish on the deck. The terrain in this spot certainly looks perfect, with dense kelp and plenty of fish, so hopes are high.
Time to get wet. I'm in a bit of a hurry because we're on some really good weed lines here. The water looks great. I've been sitting on the boat all morning, but hopefully now is my time.
Dwayne and Julian are two of New Zealand's most competent spearfishermen, with numerous national titles under their weight belts. But Kieran's certainly no slouch either, capable of diving deep and for long periods. But unfortunately, his first few dives of the day come up empty-handed. The same can be said for Tim, whose day job as a commercial diver keeps him dive fit year-round. Whilst Tim's tempted by a passing kingfish, he's already nailed one for the day, so he leaves it be. Given these are the very waters that both Dwayne and Jules learned to spearfish in, there's a definite expectation that at least one of them will be able to bring home the bacon with a borie. And sure enough, Dwayne finally spots a pair lurking deep along the weed edge. Despite the circumstances, Dwayne's in no rush to pull the trigger, seemingly content to film some additional footage of the fish, but his reluctance to squeeze off a shot despite having the perfect opportunity presented risks a potential blunder, as the boarfish begins swimming off at an acute angle. But Dwayne's no mug, and places a perfect shot on the head of the fish, killing it instantly.
They got him. Those are good noises.
Awesome.
Yeah, brother.
Good boy. You.
Now to Boarfish. Yeah, so I was sitting on the bottom, I just seen it from the surface. There was two of them there. They were just milling around, and I just dived down and pretty much put the gun right up to its head. And then it started swimming away and sort of, not much of the story, but hopefully the footage comes out good.
Actually, it looks like it's blind in one of its eyes there.
That's because there's a shaft through it.
That's probably why you got so close.
These guys were like a pack of dogs battling up a boar. As soon as one of them saw one, they were in there for the kill.
Shot, bro. Nice.
Oink, oink.
These are a real target for Spearos because they're so good eating, and they actually don't take a hook, so you can't catch them on a line. But that's a nice little bory. It's a female. It's got these sort of brown and white stripes. They're usually a bit more defined. The male's got like a yellowy back with black dots all over it. They got these bloody spikes on these fins here. They're real sharp. They don't look very sharp, but when you spear it and you're trying to kill it, they bloody jab you on the insides of the thighs. So it's good to sort of know about them before you go out and spear them.
Tusks.
Yeah, those are his hooks there, man. They bloody hurt. I got bloody little hole scars on my legs from them when I first got them.
That's not a bad little haul of fish there.
Got a good bronzy here.
All right.
Coming up on the surface just there.
Bronzy coming up.
Coming right up, it's got coral all around him. It's pretty cool actually.
Is that a big one?
Yeah, it's a size bigger than all those ones we saw this morning.
This is a slightly more serious bronze whaler shark, but its presence doesn't deter Dwayne for the job at hand, as he sets about nailing a few more fish for the bin.
There's really nice bit of fish on this weed edge here, and there's a couple of good bronzies in there trying to get the burley, but there's also a few snappers, so
It's not a bad one.
good day.
Not a bad one at all.
The bronzie's right here.
Did better than I did. I lost the snapper that I tried to spear, so he's got one up on me, but beat him tomorrow hopefully.
I like the remora fish, which have special adaptations to allow them to attach to the sides of sharks. The koriru shadowing the bronzy aren't out for a free feed. It's more likely that they're adhering to the old adage, keep your friends close and your enemies even closer.
Oh, pretty stoked. Dwayne ended up with a bory, so at least we've got one on the list, but which is a bit of a slow afternoon. But yeah, we've got a couple of days ahead of us, so still a chance for me to get one, for the other boys as well.
We're about to head in for the day. Our ginger's run out of juice.
Strawberry blonde, mate.
That'll sort him out, that'll wake him up. But yeah, we'll head back and we'll have to fill it up and get stuck in tomorrow morning.
You just can't beat kingies, eh? They're good for everything.
So the kingfish today that we got is going to get smoked in the Traeger. We're going to let it sit overnight in a brine, and then we're going to pig out on it tomorrow actually after it comes straight out of the smoker.
With a big day ahead of them, the team retire at a sensible hour, eager to hit the ground running with another early start.
What's the dietary plan of a great diver?
There's a bunch of different theories on it. Jules is into his porridge, some guys are into bacon and eggs. I'm an up and go and liquid breakfast kind of guy. It all depends on kind of what you... sorry.
The team certainly seem a bit slow off the mark, but no doubt a little salt air will put a pet back in their step.
Round 2 today, so we're heading out after a big snapper. We got a couple of smaller models yesterday, but yeah, today we're after the thumpers. Hopefully we can tick that box. We've got a bit of southwest today, so it's changed the weather a bit from yesterday, a little bit cooler in the morning. But yeah, hopefully we can get in where we want to go. The magic spots.
It's a fairly decent steam to get all the way to the location the fellas have in mind for the first dive of the day. But by the time they've reached the chosen destination, the weariness of the morning has been long forgotten, and they're frothing for more action.
So we're out here today to target snapper. Hopefully this is the hot spot.
So we've got 2 basic ways of getting snapper. One's called snapper snooping, so that's without any bait or anything. You'll just sneak over rocks trying to... there's certain places where they sit in there. These guys are the pros at it. And the other way is we'll smash up some kinners or cut up some burley. We've got some pilchards here as well, so lay down a bait, bugger off for 10-15 minutes and then sneak back over and see if anything's feeding on it. So yeah, 2 main methods.
What's the key?
Oh, the key is not being seen and not being heard. They're pretty much the smartest fish out here. They're the most flighty fish we come across, so you've got to be really quiet and really stealthy and hope that you see them before they see you.
Jules was saying before the best way to learn to snoot snapper is to learn what not to do. So the more you stuff up, the more you're going to figure out the ways of catching snapper, really.
First up, Julian checks his shooting straight by nailing a couple of kohiru, to be used either as chum or for a delicious sashimi lunch.
Ready, Dad? Yeah.
So Dwayne went straight down. He'll be flushing the bubbles out of his suit because they make noise as they roll around inside, and the trick to hunting snapper is to be as stealthy as possible. So no bubbles, no float lines dragging. Keep the sun over your shoulder's a good tip as well. It sort of blinds them a little bit. And these guys will be working with that sun over their shoulder going down to the point here.
Tim's first attempt of the day is a bit of a pot shot, but it's a promising sign to see target fish nonetheless.
We've already got snapper in mid-water coming up and hitting our burley, so that's a really good sign. There's a lot of snapper here, just done a burley up and left some frames down there. And the bloody snapper have come and taken the frames and buggered off. So we went over there expecting to see some big snapper and there was nothing. I'm going to grab that burley at the back there and do the job properly.
The seafood chowder for lunch. It's a bit shark baiting.
Oh, maybe just a little bit. I mean, you got to think that there's no blood coming out of those frames, and you've got no thrashing around from shooting your own burley either. That vibration in the water probably more than anything tends to attract sharks. The snapper, they'll sniff it out and come and take your burley, but you never know. I mean, it's a big enough chum trail.
The mother of all burleys. If we don't get a snapper, we might get a shark.
Look at it in the water here. That's a real burley trail. Might revise what I said about not attracting sharks. I reckon it's probably going to.
Sure enough, the scent of a free feed entices a pair of bronze whalers in, and they're not all that bothered about the presence of a couple of Spearos hanging around them.
Come right up to your head, man. Yeah, like it was about 10-20 centimetres off your head.
No shit.
Yeah.
The shark.
Yeah.
Because I had one come in and bump my spear too.
Same one beforehand.
Back over the other side of the bay, and it's a relatively slow start for Julian and Sam as well.
How the other boys going?
Just dump that big burley down on them.
Oh, me.
Yep.
Yeah, we set up a good burley. There's quite a few small snappers hanging around, so maybe once we've buggered off the big ones will turn up.
Yeah.
The burley's enticing and plenty of smaller fish, but so far, there's no big snapper to get excited about. So Kieran adopts a different approach.
So the boys are on their burleys doing their thing. I'm just going to slip into the water here and just mooch my way along the coast here. We're going to do what's called snooping. Just going over each rock, having a look at each gutter. Not sure what I'll find, but hopefully a big snapper or maybe a bory tucked away in there somewhere.
Kieran's stealthy stalking immediately pays dividends, as a nice sized snapper is spied sitting stationary amongst the kelp.
Well, that's a good snapper. I wasn't really expecting it where I was, but I snooped this guy out of the kelp. He's not the world's biggest moocher, but he's a good example of a real dark coloured kelpie fish. Made a good shot on him, finished the job pretty quickly, and I'm pretty bloody happy. Beautiful penny. Should we go and check on the other boys?
The other boys are perhaps regretting their rather over-enthusiastic Burley as the sharks continue gate crashing the party, and by now they've well and truly overstayed their welcome. But Dwayne's got a new strategy in mind.
So there's another rock just back here with a nice gut in it. I'm just going to go and smash up 20 or 30 kinners there, and no Burley, no fish or anything, and hopefully the sharks don't come and harass everything there, because it just seems that whenever we get some Burley going here, the sharks get in there and scoop it all up, and the snappers just hang back, they're too timid. I sort of hoped that they would get quite aggressive and into a bit of a feeding frenzy, but they haven't, so change strategy, I think.
And the new tactic pays off, with Tim smacking a respectable snapper.
Yeah, finally got one!
Finally! Reasonable snapper. Oh, we got one snapper. He's not a monster, but he's a good representative. Pretty happy still. It was a fairly exciting dive. There's sharks buzzing us flat out. There was a heap of smaller snapper. There's 2 or 3 bigger than that just didn't come close enough. Good fun, but just no big mooches. So move on, try somewhere else.
So kelpie, dark one.
Over with Jules, and he's decided to drop down on the Burley that's been left cooking for the past 20 minutes. He quickly sets his sights on a nice sized snapper lurking on the edge of his range, so slowly reaches forward and takes aim.
Yeah, they look pretty cool, man. Come through the weed and there's a whole little sort of 2 or 3 kilo snappers just sitting there feeding on the Burley. I'll watch them for a while before I pull the trigger.
That's a good eater.
Yeah, not huge, but he's good fish.
En route back to the boat, Jules nabs another cray to add a touch more respectability to his morning's work.
Man, crack full of crays down there.
Snapper and a cray.
Sweet, got a feed.
That's a good, yummy looking fish.
There's plenty of fish that size, but no real mooches, but it's all good. Got a cray, got a snapper.
Our new plan, we'll come up to a new area where the guys know there are some good snapper at times, but there's not really room for all of us. But there's a weed edge that Kieran found before, so I'm going to sort of slide down the side of the weed edge while these guys do some more burleying and snooping.
Yeah, we're just going to keep charging around, chasing these bloody snapper. We've only got small ones so far. I've just got to put in the time, I think.
So we've got Kieran from Garmin and Timmy in the water here. We're going to play a bit of a trick on them and drop this down to 40 metres and tell them about my hotspot and how good a diver I am at the moment. Throw this over down the bottom and leave it there for a little bit, and yeah, impress Timmy when it's later on the Savo.
How deep did you go?
39.8, and it was a 2-minute 19 dive.
Not a bad dive.
That's quite believable.
That's on the higher end of my abilities.
Whilst Dwayne may be having a bit of fun with his little prank, those depths and durations are actually well within his abilities. Both Dwayne and Julian are elite level divers, and both have competed at World Championships in the Mediterranean, which regularly saw them diving to depths in excess of 50 metres. However, descending dangerously far in the pursuit of fish isn't really required here in New Zealand, where the bulk of our target species tend to live within 30 metres or 100 feet of the surface. But back over with Tim, who's hovering around the 20 metre mark, and he's decided it's time to cash in on the presence of a couple of inquisitive kingfish.
Yeah, I just shot a kingy. He's not a monster, but I'm pretty keen on taking a feed home, so he's just working this weed edge. Nice bait fish.
this one come through, so I thought, why not? It's a bit different with a real gun. It's definitely harder to pull them in. It'd be good stacking. It's actually not a bad fish. Yeah, it's not a bad kingy. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty sure it's bigger than the one I got yesterday, so.
Fish. Yeah. Oh, it's a real thick one, mate. Nice and thick through here.
Yeah, good and fat. I mean, I was looking on the weed edge here for boarfish, but that come along, I wasn't going to turn it down.
He's
Mate.
real.
Yeah, you got to take one when it comes along, eh?
Thick through here and
That's
real
thick.
solid through the tail too. He's a machine. I say 20 kilo, easy.
Look at the gut on that.
The fish has got one too, eh?
Absolutely prime specimens there, boy.
As the afternoon progresses, a few new species are encountered, including these vibrant blue mau mau, but the big snapper the team are targeting fails to eventuate. And like the day prior, the fellas have to remain persistent, as a big moocher could show itself at any second.
Yeah, we're just going to keep putting the time in. Had a couple of hours mucking around in the other spot, and there's a few small ones, but seen big snappers here before, so hopefully they're still there, maybe a bit bigger than when we saw them last.
Heaps of snappers there, eh? Yeah, not mess of those. Probably 2 like 3 kilos. Yeah.
I've been hard pressed to find any decent snapper. We're just picking the boys up now. Hopefully they've found something bigger. See how they go. How'd you get on?
No good. Bloody, I think we overcooked our burley. We were doing real good. We had heaps of fish there, and then we might have kept trying to burley and not bloody take the fish while we could.
See any decent ones?
Oh, earlier I saw 4 or 5 kilo ones, maybe, in the burley. How do you look at how deep you've gone? Like, you just want to see all the stuff for today.
Bullshit. Maximum depth 39.8 metres.
39.8 metres.
A bit more than I can go. What a show off.
You get down there.
Yeah. I'll just do a funky chicken on the top.
It was a big dive, yeah. Jeepers.
39.8 metres for 2 minutes 20. That's not bad, eh?
Something smell fishy about that?
So the day's getting on, we're sort of running out of chances or spots to go. We're just gonna have a last little attempt along here. I'm gonna jump in here and then snoop along the coast here and hopefully pick up something. We've seen snappers all day, but we're just trying to find a bigger one. We're sort of passing up the 3 to 4 kilo ones, looking for the 8, 9 kilo ones. The other boys have got their other spots to try as well, so
See you guys later.
Good luck.
sort of just spreading out as a last ditch attempt to find a snapper.
Yeah, we've already got a good nice feeder fish in the bin, so we're pretty happy, but yeah, really want to finish her off with a stonker if we can.
Yeah, end the day on a high note, hopefully. Last dive of the day. All the boys are spread out now, so yeah, I'm pretty keen on working this bit of coast here. Hopefully the snappers have woken up from their afternoon nap and they're hungry.
Relocating to a new spot seems to have been a good call, as not long after dropping over the side into the drink, Tim spies a respectable snapper finning away in mid-water.
That is definitely what we wanted. I wasn't going to be fussy with my shot. I am wrapped with that.
Oh, that's awesome. Job done.
We're on the board!
Oh, beauty.
Yeah, stoked. Just snooped him, stuck over top of a rock. I was looking down under. He wasn't there, and I looked out, and he was up out of the weed and cruising away from me. He was right out in the distance. I gave a couple of kicks and plugged him from miles out, but Sam was on my shoulder. I think we got the whole lot. Beautiful. Oh, so much fun snooping those, eh?
Nice fish. Quite weighty?
Yeah?
Yeah. Good nick.
Yeah, there's a big bronzy just after that cruising us around. He must have smelt the blood. Got a good fish all in amongst the kawa and the trevally. Trevally were all following him around. It was pretty awesome to see. Anyone else had any luck?
Nah, bro, you're the only one.
Woo!
Whilst it's a nice fish, it's certainly no showstopper. So here's hoping either Julian, Kieran or Dwayne can put a pin into something with a bit more wow factor.
Oh, it's not too bad, eh? They're swimming away from me. You've got another good one on the gun too, eh? Yeah, not a baddie. Did you get a good one, did you?
Not massive, but yeah, nice snapper.
Sweet. Bigger than that one?
Just snooping. Yeah.
Whilst Jules' pair of snaps are certainly a welcome addition, 2 fish isn't always better than 1. But luckily, Dwayne has a chance to ensure the trip ends on a high note. Now this is a more serious specimen.
Yeah, it looks like Dwayne's got something. He was hooting and hollering off that rock. Woo.
You beauty! But he just snuck over a rock before, in a little gut. I sort of figured it was a nice little spot, so I put a burley down and swam back there about 5 minutes later. And it's a big bronzy, and this guy hiding for food. So, yeah. Not massive, but he's bloody bigger than anything else I've seen today. Happy days! Oh. Patience, persistence, I suppose. It's taken us all day to find something worth shooting, and now we're there. We've actually turned down plenty today. Been hoping to find one of these, and yeah, persistence pays off. He was only one this size on the Burley, and he was competing with a bronzy, so they were bloody not worried about me slinking down the side of the rock.
But the fun and games aren't over for the day just yet.
How'd you go?
Dwayne's like, cute. It's a souvenir keyring one to take home.
Between Sam and Tim, you can see there's a bronzy on the surface.
How's it been doing? Just heaps of fish around. Kingies, a couple of bronzies coming bloody. Trying to steal some fish, but we're all good.
I got that one on the soft.
There's some fish around, eh?
Yeah,
Woo! Who got that?
Mr. Dependable, eh?
Man, that's a
You tell us. All right, maybe I can't believe you could dive down to 40 metres.
Man, that's a nice fish.
Shit, yeah.
Oh, good shot too. It's a good finish to the day then, isn't it?
Mission accomplished.
We did what we came out to achieve. It's awesome.
put the miles in.
It's a healthy looking bin.
It's a sweet feeling, pulling one out of the fire in the dying minutes. And the lads quite rightly treat themselves to a cold brew on the steam back to port.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Well, that wraps up a good couple of days, really. Plenty of fish, plenty of action. Couldn't have gone better, really.
There's nothing else to do but to tuck into the wide variety of delicious fish that they have been able to harvest over the past 2 days. Happy in the knowledge that there's certainly plenty more to share with friends and family in the weeks ahead.